Hi guys, it's Wade here with your Thursday Spot on Pagan Perspective, and this week we're discussing material objects in your workings and personally how I work with or without them and if I think they are required for my practice. So yeah, stay tuned and there we go. First of all, just want to say, yes, I know there's no snazzy backdrop or anything today. The main reason behind that is because it's a bit late, and also this video is late, so I don't want to kind of deter it anymore with like having to put up the background and having to edit it for like 3 hours editing because it's ridiculous. So here I am, plain and simple. I've got a coat on because it's freezing in England at the moment, and I always record in the cellar, and I don't really want to end up with pneumonia, even though I've already got a cold. So yeah, that's all explained. Video was late yesterday because I was seeing my granddad in hospital, and when I got back, it just was too late for me to even think about trying to prepare myself to do a video. So I spoke to Cara and she said it would be okay if I did it for today. So this is my video. So topic for today is stuff. Basically the question asks, what is our opinions on material objects within it and whether it is we believe it's required or not. I think personally, first off, the opinions gave throughout the week so far, I kind of agree with all of them. For example, the statement made on the fact that you don't need material objects to practice the craft or your beliefs, which is 100% true. However, how I would tackle that is also that some people find it easier to visualise with objects, and some people just feel that it adds to the mood. So depending on you personally, it's really down to how you feel. It's easy for you to open up to the way that you work, and it's regardless of belief system really, like whichever path you're following. If you are Wiccan, you may choose to use a wand as opposed to a finger because you feel that it's just that's something extra, whereas some people don't feel they need to do that because they understand that it is within them that they use it, and the wand is almost just an extension. But it depends on you and how you really connect with the objects and how you feel, and if you require them to open up. It is all about how your comfort is within your workings. So I kind of have a joint view on the subject because I personally do actually use, I prefer to use wands and also anathema instead of my finger at times, because sometimes it feels a bit more, especially in ritual, to me I feel more like I've made that effort, but that's not saying that if you don't use it you haven't made the effort. That is just something within me that I do as a personal way for me to show that I've gone the extra bit further for a ritual as opposed to a normal circle. Also, having extra things for ritual practice as opposed to circle practice, like you may have separate candles and stuff, it's all down to you as well. If you feel comfortable in kind of it's kind of an art, you kind of have the very posh kind of side of things, where there's a lot of Wiccans who come around in groups and they have separate things for different occasions. They have a lot of material things. That isn't because you need it, that's because that's a way of saying, that's a way of them expressing themselves. You have to kind of think of it as an art form as well. You have your artists who can make these massive paintings, your big fashion designers, people with a lot of money can create these big shows, and then you have little artists who can equally create beautiful pieces of work with very little materials, and so therefore what I'm trying to say is that you don't need to practice with these big things, because it isn't a contest, and it isn't like you've got to prove something to the god and goddess or whoever you believe in. It's just the fact that you need to feel comfortable in creating what you want to do and how you go about creating the ritual yourself. It's just about putting you into it, and if you feel you need material objects to help present that, then that's fine. But I also want to stress the fact that you don't need it it's just a personal choice. And yeah, that's my views on the subject. I personally have I have very little items, but I have the items that I need. And when I say I need, I mean not that you need, that I need for my practice. I started off with nothing. I did circles with just a Tesco salt and my finger and 2 friends, and I've progressed to obviously having loads of little things that I've collected along the way. And sometimes I think that's the best way to progress, especially if you're a starter in any of the paths, is to just take bits and don't go out for an object just because you feel like you need it. Don't go shopping for an athame because you've seen it and you require it. I actually need an athame at the moment, and I'm waiting and waiting until I see one that actually catches my eye, that I feel drawn to, that I feel like I need, and feel like I want. Because I haven't found one that I want at the moment. Sorry, that was the phone. So I think it's also important that if you are looking for things, material things for your stuff, is don't rush it. I know you may want to be excited to get started as well into the path or try something new a certain way, but to be fair, it's not even worth wasting your money on something that you're not even going to feel 100% that you want that, you know what I mean? Because we've all done it. We've all bought something that we've just thought, I wish I'd never bought that now. And it's exactly the same with things to do with I'm going to say Wicca because I'm talking mainly to on the Wiccan side of things, but it applies to every path, I should have thought, under the pagan umbrella. There's no point buying something that you are unsure about, and I have actually done that many times with things I've bought for Wicca. Can't think right now, but there have been a lot of things that I've then gone and bought out doubles off, like tarot decks. I wanted my first tarot deck was brilliant, but I bought a second one because I really wanted one, and within the next week I'd already bought another tarot deck because I didn't love it. I just wanted a new tarot deck to get off my starter deck, and I just rushed it. So don't rush yourselves into getting anything that you feel like you need. You don't need anything. You can pretty much do it with household rituals and circles with household items. And to practice your craft outside of ritual and ritual and circle, you don't actually need anything. Just your common sense and the fact that you realise that all you really need is nature and yourself. I mean, it is a nature-based religion, Wicca, and as well as the other paths. So I feel that the material things are just an extension of your creativity within the path that you've chosen, and there's no need for any of it. I mean, it is nice to have a pentacle, but I wouldn't say that was a need. That's just an expression of your belief. I don't think it really proves anything to anyone, because the only person you really need to prove your beliefs to is yourself, and you shouldn't need merely material objects to prove what you already know that you believe, if you know what I mean. That was a bit deep for me. But yeah, so that's it. I know there was a second question for this week, so if I remember it, I'll post an extra video on the end of this video, but my phone isn't connected to the internet at the moment, so I can't get the second question. So yeah, hope you all have a great weekend, and I'm sorry the video was late, and I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of the videos this week, because this has been quite a good topic. So thank you to the person who asked the question, and yeah, see you next Thursday. Blessed be. Peace out. Just remembered the second part to the video, and it was about the veil of poverty. First of all, I just want to elaborate on the whole artist thing I said earlier in the video. I think a better comparison would be to a sculptor, because if you're an artist, though that still stands, the whole idea of what I put forward in that, is it a metaphor? I don't know what it is. The idea is the fact that an artist needs a paintbrush to paint, whereas a sculptor relies on his intuition and his hands to sculpt. And then as you go up the line of sculptors, there's sculptors who will use machinery, sculptors who will use different tools and stuff, but at the very basis of it all, a sculptor starts with his hands to create something beautiful. And that's what you need to do within the craft, is, like Cara said, is start with the very basics, understand the natural part of it, and the real basis to any pagan belief, and you can do that without anything, and then you can progress with objects and create your own little world within that, and design your whole way of devoting to whatever god, goddesses, the earth, however you want to, on top of that. But I do think it is important that you, first of all, if you are just starting with the craft, or even from time to time, which kind of links with the vow of poverty, look at the things that are the basics of it all. And that kind of brings me on to the vow of poverty, with the whole fact of working without things, and kind of taking a break away from working with things. And personally, anyway, when I'm in ritual, I do tend to just grab a few things and make that. I can't put everything into it, because over time I've just been upstairs to check, I've built quite a lot. I have a whole wardrobe and an extra cupboard full of things, and I don't use all of it, if I'm honest.